Hey guys, Dr. J here. Today we will continue going through the bosses in World 5. It's time to face the Dirty Colossus. He is much easier to kill with a melee weapon than the Leechmonger, especially if you have a dragon upgraded weapon. Though enchanting it with Turpentine will work just as well. We'll be using the dragon longsword we picked up in 2-2 again, and as usual, having the Adjudicator's shield and the Regenerator's ring will make things easier. There's nothing else we need to prepare, so let's go through this fog gate and start the boss fight. We should get behind him as quickly as possible. He'll immediately start shooting swarms of flies at us. As long as we are running, we should be able to avoid them. But if they do manage to hit us, we should use one of the torches spread around the arena. Once the swarm latches onto us, they'll start draining our health rather quickly. They will eventually die off on their own, but if we just let them be, we will lose quite a lot of health. So the best way to deal with them is by burning them off with one of the torches. We will lose a bit of health from the fire damage, but as long as we do it quickly enough, it will be far less than what we'd lose otherwise. Anyways, once we get in melee range of the Dirty Colossus, he'll rarely use his swarms of flies. Most of the times, he'll try to use his arms, so as long as we stand behind him, he'll rarely hit us. Despite what I've been claiming, we're getting afflicted by the swarms of flies rather often. It doesn't matter, we have plenty of time to heal and go back behind him and continue attacking him. The only attack we should be worried of is when he starts curling up like a bow. When he starts doing that, we should immediately run away from him. He'll use an ability that kinda looks like the God's Wrath miracle, but instead of holy power, he'll be using swarms of flies. And he's actually doing it right now. Sorry you couldn't see it better, I was trying to run out of its range before it was too late. But he is going to use it again, so you have another opportunity to see it. It doesn't look like much, but it does hurt quite bad. And this is his normal melee attack combo. Something I forgot to mention and is actually quite important is that you shouldn't use the lock-on against him. There is a lot of running around during this fight, and locking onto him will make it much more difficult. Well, this is pretty much all I wanted to say about this strat. He's nearly dead, so let's just finish him off and go to the next one. Again with his AoE. He's just prolonging the inevitable. And there you have it, the Dirty Colossus killed with a melee weapon. But as you soon see, using a ranged weapon will again be much easier. Next, I will show you how to kill him with a bow. This time I won't be using the white bow, but instead the lava bow. There is again a safe spot in this arena that we can use to avoid all of the boss's attacks. All we have to do is run past the boss and get to the other side of the arena. Once we drop down from the wooden platform, we will be safe from his swarms of flies. Then we should use the aim mode of the bow and start hitting his head. And that's all there is to it. He'll keep walking slowly towards us, but we should be able to kill him long before he reaches us. Now, the reason I am using the lava bow this time is because it deals an additional 100 fire damage, which is obviously very useful against this boss. Besides, creating the lava bow is fairly easy. Oh, and there's also one more benefit of using the lava bow. Every time we hit the Dirty Colossus, he'll get stunned for a bit, making it even harder for him to reach us. And that's how you kill the Dirty Colossus with a bow. Finally, I will show you how to do it with magic. More precisely, we'll be using the Soul Ray. Our equipment is the same as always: the Crisp Blade, the Insanity Catalyst, and the Ring of Magical Sharpness. If we go over here, behind this wooden post, we'll be safe from his swarms of flies, while still being in range of our Soul Ray. Unfortunately, the wooden post is quite slim, so you may have some issues positioning correctly. If you don't want to bother with it, you can just use this wall for cover. He'll never be able to hit you while you're here, so you can just heal or restore your mana, or do whatever. Once you're done, you can just peek from behind it and continue firing off Soul Rays. I actually didn't need to go so much towards him, but it doesn't really matter. Once our mana has been depleted, we can just go back behind cover, restore it, and then continue firing off Soul Rays. I'm not really sure which strat is easier, using magic or a bow. What do you guys think? Anyway, that was it for this boss fight. If the video was helpful to you, I would appreciate it if you press the like button and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this boss fight. Goodbye and see you next time!